What's good, everybody? I'm Winston A. Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blerd, and this is my non-spoiler review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I got a chance to hit up that early press screening and see the end of James Gunn's trilogy. And oh man, talk about hitting you completely in the feels. Again, this is going to be a non-spoiler review, so I'm not going to get into the finer points of the plot or anything like that, but I am going to talk about kind of where the story is moving, and just some of the performances, which were just absolutely spot on, were absolutely phenomenal. This story really focuses around Rocket and his origin. I won't really say much beyond that. And we do get the villain, the High Evolutionary, played by, I'm so sorry, brother, for messing up your name, because I know I'm going to, Chukwudi Iwuji. I, again, very sorry if I mess it up. I'm going to call him by his character, the High Evolutionary. But you know him from Peacemaker. He's worked with Gunn before, played the main agent that was infected by the alien species. There's a reason why you see directors. I know there were people trying to give James Gunn flack for working with the same people, but there is a reason why directors collaborate with people that they've worked with before and that they are proud of their work because they know what they're capable of. And this is one of the great villain performances of Marvel. Honestly, this is up there with Killmonger. This is up there with Thanos. His motivations are that of most comic book villains, where they think they're better than, and that they think they can do better than, and so that's why he does what he does, and the pure insanity really rings true, and it was incredible to see that acting performance. I absolutely loved seeing what he did with the High Evolutionary. Really put the fear in there. I do have a little bit of beef. A new addition with Will Poulter's Adam Warlock. Not for anything that Adam, for what Will did with the character. I just don't. I've read enough Adam Warlock stories that I don't feel like that interpretation is one that I was a super big fan of personally. It was fun to watch. I think it fit within this universe for sure, but it wasn't quite what I was expecting, and so it just didn't. I didn't love that. That might be my only low point. And again, I still liked what Adam Warlock, the humor that was coming out of it. That's not what I was expecting. This felt like, to me. I hate to say it, but Taskmaster-esque, where I see what they did for the MCU, but that just doesn't necessarily work for me. But that's just me. That's the only thing that didn't fit. Everything else, this entire crew, we've been with them for a long time. Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana playing Gamora, Batista playing Drax, Vin Diesel as Groot, Bradley Cooper as Rocket, Karen Gillian as Nebula, Palm Clementif as Mantis, and Sean Gunn coming back as Kraglin, joining the squad now. And we have Maria Baklova playing Cosmo the Space Dog, which was really cool to see. It was really dope to see everybody. Shout out to Nico Santos, is in here too as one of the villains. For those that aren't familiar with Nico, he's over on Superstore. Super nice guy. I did an episode of the show and I got to meet him. He's a very nice dude, so it was really cool to see him be a part of the MCU, be a pretty major part of this movie. But just to focus on the film, the scoring, as always, incredible. The soundtrack is always incredible. What makes this movie so good, and is what has made all of the Guardians movies so good, is it really just truly focuses on family. And in this case, above all else, if the first one is about finding your family, if the second one is about that true bonding of family and what family means, this last one is about what lengths you would go to for your family. I was not expecting to cry over Rocket Raccoon and his story, and yet here I am in this, seeing him and all the trials and tribulations that he went through prior to meeting the Guardians, and how being with them over the course of these films and the Avengers films and the Thor film, how it's changed him, how he has come back around from a very dark place that he was in, and we saw really cracks of that in Guardians 2, talking to Yondu. But this is on a whole other level, and I really have to give Bradley Cooper props for doing so much. But everybody did. Everybody had a phenomenal performance in this. I saw ranges from Chris Pratt that I didn't know could be hit. And I don't say that disrespectfully at all. I see him so much with his comedy chops and his action chops. I don't always see the super dramatic emotional side, and we got a lot of that in this film from him, because he's grieving. If you remember where we left off in the holiday special and the end of Thor and Endgame, he is upset about Gamora. Yes, Gamora is back, but this is not his Gamora. That Gamora is dead. The one we have now is the one from the past, from Endgame. That's not a secret at all. And them trying to refine each other, he's trying so desperately to connect with her. And that journey is very interesting to watch. I really appreciate what Zoe Saldana always brings to the table. She hits heightened, passionate, emotional notes very well, and it brought a lot out of Chris. You saw him really suffering while interacting with this version of Gamora. But that was the coolest part, is we got to see everybody's kind of final arc here. We got to really see a depth of Drax that we only get to see from time to time. But this really shown here. Same with Mantis. Palm really was digging in her bag for this one, man, and it was amazing to see. And this is just that movie that you're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna be so grateful that you followed the Guardians of the Galaxy all this time. And I gotta say, for me, this movie solidified Guardians as my favorite trilogy of the MCU at this particular juncture. Probably my favorite superhero trilogy, and it has made my top 3 trilogies just of all time. This was a beautiful swan song for the Guardians of the Galaxy, at least this iteration of it. Because who knows if we will see another version of them going forward. I do appreciate, I won't tell you what happens at the end there. Obviously, this is a non-spoiler. They do leave the door open for, the Guardians to evolve, move on, the same way that the Avengers were left to evolve and move on at the end of Endgame. So who knows where this will ultimately end up, but I'm really, really glad to see this last little bit from James Gunn. And now I'm super excited for what James Gunn's going to do with the DCU. I was already one of those people that was excited personally, but after you see this film, you got to look at, there's no way you could be nervous going forward, because if he could take a genetically modified experiment of a raccoon and get you that emotionally attached and just drawn in, what do you think he's going to do for, Superman? What do you think he's going to be able to do truthfully to help guide with the Bat family and where that's going to go? What more conventional, to a degree, stories, it's only going to get better from here as far as the art and the work we're going to see out of James Gunn and the hand he's going to use to guide this new universe. So if I had to rate it, I'd got to give this like a 4.9. I'm not going to give it a perfect movie. It's not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination. There's very few that are. But this is damn close. I mean, this is giving me the same feels that Winter Soldier did. As far as, wow, I you really want to see what Marvel can do and let a director have their full vision. That's really what I got from this, was seeing James Gunn's full vision come to realization, and he is a phenomenal filmmaker. So, but I want to know what you think, whether you saw it on May 3rd early, you saw it on May 5th or after, or if you're watching this in anticipation of the movie. What do you think about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Are you excited about it? What was your favorite part, your favorite character, all that good stuff? So please be sure to leave a comment below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, man. I do reviews here, interviews, and a lot of comedy, man. So you definitely want to check that out. And be sure to check me out over at the Kristian Harloff channel, where I do Capes and Cowls with Jandreau and Kristian Harloff every Friday. And if you're watching this as it released at 10 a.m. on Friday the 28th, tonight at Flappers Burbank, it's going down. The live taping of the Big Thing podcast, as well as my return to stand-up. It is all going down tonight, so be sure to go to thekristianharloff.com to either get your tickets to make it to the venue or to get the live stream and watch that as well. So much love to y'all. Please be sure to subscribe to the page, share this out to everybody, leave a like on there, and other than that, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.